All right, so last time we left off, we found out some pretty devastating news about Nasanda. Somehow it has managed to develop rod knock in the engine. Really don't know why. We did check it for oil pressure, had oil pressure. This motor is fully built from piston rods to cams to everything. It was broken in by the previous owner. We had no reason to believe that the motor was hurt. We don't even think it was hurt the first time we started it. So somehow developed rod knock. Not pumped about it. It sucks, but it's part of cars and we must continue on and continue to make progress. So today we're gonna take it apart, man.
For the millionth time.
I was really hoping this would be the
last one.
Whatever. So there is a small percent chance that it is something inside like the clutch bell housing area. Very small percentage, but we gotta of course try that first before we move on. So we're gonna find out quickly if we can actually move the transmission in the car or not. We did build the trans tunnel pretty big around the bell housing for this reason, so we can get it out. And well, hopefully we can. So let's get this thing up in the air and start taking her apart.
Hey, it's clean.
Yeah, because it's brand new. I just put it in. So I put the camera down just because those couple top bolts, they're not bad, they're not impossible. Well, the starter bolt can't come out, that's news. So we have plenty of room up top, we made it, but the frame rails were our limiting factor on the trans tunnel right here. So I'm scared once we pull it past the clutch, it's gonna hit. I'll tell you what, the trans can almost come out, but it can't. Oh, damn. I need some tranny jacks ASAP.
And some touch-up paint.
That's upsetting.
All right, let's take the whole thing out this time.
So unfortunately, the trans doesn't fit. The two frame rails at that one spot are just too tight and it just hits. We need like a ½ inch more, but so whatever. So what we're gonna have to do is we're just gonna have to pull the whole thing out. Realistically, it's probably easiest if we just drop everything underneath the car on the subframe versus pulling it out the top, because as you guys remember, it's a tight fit. So time to undo a week's worth of work. This sucks, but let's get to it. All right, everything should be disconnected from the chassis right now. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did. Subframes are unbolted, they're on jag stands. Trans is unbolted, it's on jag stands. I think we're good. So now it's time to raise the chassis, and everyone keep your eyes peeled because I don't want any new scratches in this thing. All right, well, it is out. Definitely sucks to see it, but it came out smoothly. We didn't scratch anything, we didn't damage anything, so that is a huge plus. So I really want to hear it run without the trans on, but I'm like 98% convinced that it is rod knock. I mean, it's such a distinctive noise coming from a distinctive spot that I think it's safe to say that we could just strip this thing now. So I'm gonna strip it down to a long block, and then we're gonna throw on an engine stand and then strip the head off of it and everything. So for now, let's throw back to the time lapses. We'll pull off all the accessories, the manifolds, the harness, and just keep doing, and we'll keep on doing all the progress we've made the last couple months. So be it. All right, engine is officially out of the car on the stand. I think I made a pretty good time. It hurt every second of it, but we made good times. All right, so first let's get this out of the way, this out of the way, this out of the way, and this out of the way. Ready? All right, we're good to go. So now, man, what is next? So let's put the thing on TDC. We'll mark the chains, take the tension off them, take the caps off, pull the chain, pull the cam, pull the head. That makes sense.
Beautiful. I couldn't set it any better myself.
TDC. That was super loose. Now let's mark our chains to make our life a lot easier in the future. So we're gonna mark it. That dot, we got a dot over here, and then just somewhere on the crank there's a dot. Cool. Marking timing.
Yo, Mike, taking it apart?
Yeah.
Putting something together. What's going on?
What is he talking about?
I never know half the time.
That's my marker. I'll come take it back.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. It's ours now.
Yeah, well, an ass whooping is 10
Nice and loose. Like that. I don't understand why they use 2 chains for the cams, but whatever. Boom. All right, so now we gotta pull the cams. So these are actually BC stage 2 cams, so these are good cams. So these are definitely gonna go on whatever engine we end up piecing together, because we don't really know how much damage is caused now, and especially since, I mean, I drove it once it was knocking because, well,
Why not?
well, I don't know. I needed that little drive, you know. But we have 4Ks to pick from over there, and I'm not too worried about it. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, RJ. These cams look pretty shitty.
I'm pretty sure you've never lied to me. Because you always tell me how much you hate me and how much I annoy you.
I never
X, Y, and Z.
Man, these don't look happy. That sucks. Well, screw it. We can make this work. We'll make this work. You know, I could really use some good news. RJ, tell me something good. Just tell me something good.
You're handsome.
Thank you. Thank you, RJ. Boom.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Looks good. How does this look?
This looks pretty fine so far.
That looks pretty good so far. There's a little.
Yeah.
There's some information right there.
We've touched.
It's
interesting.
Was that from me or was that? What? That's annoying.
Too. That's where the knock was from.
There it is. Something. Did we nick a valve? Did something go through it? Damage the head? How the hell? The head's perfectly fine, dude. The valve's fine. The head's fine. I wonder if this happened previously. This is the big moment. Got to pull the oil pan off, and we'll take a cap off, and we'll check cylinder 4. See how she looks. There we go. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Usually it's a nightmare.
All right, this is fresh.
Yeah, you're right. All right, here we go.
Good job.
Well, first good news, the cap doesn't look hot, so that's good. Rotate this.
Not bad.
I mean, I see bearing on both sides of the rod down there too.
I mean, this looks fine.
I would expect.
I mean, as far as I can tell, this actually doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't look that bad, though.
No, it's
That doesn't
not.
explain that noise weird.
Yeah.
It's almost worse than not getting like a straight answer, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
All right, well, we're gonna go to the next cylinder. Cylinder 3.
Yeah.
I really, this is what's like, not finding an issue would be so much worse than just like, that looks beautiful. It looks like it just broke in.
That's concerning.
Remember which way it went?
I mean, it's not damaged. You know, it has some wear, but that's normal. Shit.
Well, huge strikeout so far. Cylinder 4, cylinder 3, look fine. More concerned about the head than the bottom end at this point. I checked for thrust, there's no thrust on the crank. I guess we just keep pulling pistons, you know?
Same thing.
Same thing. I'm fully convinced this is an engine issue though, dude. After hearing those noises, like if you heard those noises in person, even on camera you could tell that is an internal ass noise.
Yeah, I know. I watched the video the next day and I was like, damn, yeah, you could really hear it on camera, huh? You could hear it from the beginning on camera.
Because at first when I started, I couldn't hear it in the car, as you guys could tell by my face.
That
I was like,
the
oh,
joke.
that
sounds awesome.
And all of us, meanwhile, in the car, like,
I know I watched the video and I was just like, oh, I look like an idiot. All right, last one. Please be toast. Looks fine. Looks absolutely fine. So far, the only thing we've learned is there's a slight nick in cylinder 4. The cams don't look that great. Bearings look great. Crank looks great. Valves look fine.
cylinder walls.
So there's no thrust in the crank. There's a little bit of slivers of metal in the oil pan, but it's not like there's chunks, you know? So the only thing that it could possibly be now is main bearing. Didn't sound like a main bearing.
No, I don't even think it's not a main bearing.
Not what I wanted to see today. So I just talked to my homie JP, my engine builder, on the phone, and he's done a lot of KAs, and he says that a lot of times when they start making noise in the bottom ends, the cranks will actually start to bend. It's like a KA thing, I guess, which is pretty crazy. He even warned me when we talked about this months ago that if I want to build a KA, find a couple, because usually the cranks are bad, which is pretty crazy to think. So the possibility the crank is bent, it's there. The possibility that a main bearing is bad is there, but probably not as likely. But either way, at least this way, we have good hardware, we have good pistons, we have good rods, we have good cams, valves, and containers. The hardware is there. Now it's just going to be new bearings, new rings, probably a new oil pump for the hell of it, and then new gaskets. So at least this way, I know the motor inside and out, and I know it's built correctly by someone who I trust, and I can have a really good feeling about it, and I never have to worry about it. So it's very unfortunate this had to happen, and I know a lot of people are busting my balls right now. Like, you should have did this from the beginning. And yes, I know, I should have. Honestly, the build kind of got a little bit crazier than I thought. I thought we were gonna be stock motor, all this good stuff. Then we went through the hassle of trying to find a stock motor, and we couldn't find a good stock one. And then at that point, we were gonna decide to build one, right? This one popped up, everything checked out on it. He gave me a great deal. I was already in the area, and it was kind of like the saving grace of the build. And unfortunately, I took the chance, and unfortunately it didn't pay out. So I guess it kind of did, because I do get my money's worth in internals, so I can't be too upset about it. It just sucks that we had to put the car together like so many
Got
freaking
that
times.
close to driving
Dude,
it.
got that close to driving it, yeah. I was really hoping to do donuts in it this week, I'll tell you
Biggest
that.
tease on the planet.
Dude, you have no idea. That one hurt, but hey, it's cars, it happens, and this is what we gotta do. And I'm still very happy this thing's gonna be KAT. I'm telling you guys, and a lot of you guys wanted to go K-Series from the rip, and realistically, to me, I had a vision of this car in mind from the beginning, and the KA just fit so much more in my head. The K-Series is cool, but it's just not the heart I wanted for this build, and I really love the KA. And just you guys wait, when we got a good one in there, a KAT just has like the best feel ever. The power band, the torque, everything. Like I would love a built KAT in my hatch, to tell you the truth. Like it's a really good feeling. So
Don't forget, they sound amazing.
they sound amazing, yeah. So we're not changing the motor, we're not getting an SR, we're not doing a K-Series. We're gonna put the time in. Got a really good friend that I trust, who knows this shit, and we're gonna get this motor together. We're gonna put it all back together, and we'll be ready to rage. So it was a long day for me, so I think we're gonna end it here. So thank you guys for watching, and man. So sorry for the lack of enthusiasm today. I don't want to push any bad moods on you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Everything is awesome. Go wrench on your car. You guys just told me tear apart my project. Go do that thing you've been putting off forever. It deserves to get done right now. So like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content. And Mike?
You guys have the greatest of nights.